So in this video, I want to talk about something that we go through with our clients a lot more than you would think is possible. And that is whether your business is actually making you happy or not. Now, I want you to sit and think about why you actually started your business. And it could be anything. It could be that you wanted more holidays, you wanted more freedom, whatever that means, more money, more time with your family, whatever it might be. And then I want you to think about whether actually you have created that business and whether your business does that for you, because that's the most important thing about starting a business, is that it should give you the life that you want. Now, don't get me wrong, it's hard up front. You have to put a lot of work in to get to that point, but it should eventually give you the life that you want. So the question for you is whether you have created that business, or whether you're on the way to it at least and you have the plan to get there, or whether your goals have changed. Now, my goals have changed over the course of my business quite a few times, but I can actually safely say that, I have restructured everything and got everything now to a point where I'm actually really happy in my business and I'm content, and I wake up every day really looking forward to coming to the office. It wasn't always like that. And funnily enough, when it wasn't like that, it was when I wanted a huge accountancy practice. So I used to run an outsourced finance team business. I'm a finance director by trade. But what would actually happen is that I would get told by clients I'm a pretty rubbish finance director, because I'd go in and start pulling their entire business apart and putting it back together again. So that's actually now what my business is more structured around. However, back then, I was probably doing 200 grand a year on my own, take home. But I was waking up every single day miserable because I was growing this business that I wasn't passionate about. I didn't really care about. There was teething problems all over the place. I didn't love the industry at all. So I just didn't care about it. Now, it was great because I was driving around in McLaren, living the high life, nice house, nice cars, all those sorts of things. But actually, I was waking up every day wishing I wasn't here. And I know that sounds cliche, but it is the dead truth. Now, don't get me wrong, I still want to be growing a huge business. I would love to get this business to 10, 15, 20 million pound, but at the same time, I want it to work for me, not the other way around. And I think that is the point. So my next question to you is, has your business just become a job that you can't escape from? Do you wake up every day looking forward to it? Or do you wake up every day going, oh my God, I wish I was not in this business, but I can't get out? Because that is a common feeling. And then the next question I want you to ask is, are you earning more but enjoying life less? Now, there is no amount of money that is worth unhappiness. I can tell you firsthand, there is no amount of money that makes it worth the unhappiness, because eventually you're going to get to a point where you're on your deathbed, you're laying there, you're on your own, hopefully with your family, but you're laying there on your own contemplating things, and you're going, actually, did I really enjoy my life, and did I achieve everything that I wanted to achieve? And was it worth achieving those things? No one's going to remember how much money you've got unless they're coming to get some of it. You can't take it to the grave with you. So think about whether you're actually happy, or whether the amount of money that you're earning at the minute just isn't worth it. Because you can change it. There is ways of changing the business so that you earn the same amount of money, because I understand everyone has bills to pay, blah, 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 lifestyles to upkeep. But there are ways to change your business so that it makes it work for you, not you working for the business. Next question to ask yourself is, what percentage of your week is spent doing things that you don't enjoy? And that is one of the first things that we look to change in my program, and to get the business owners to a point where they're actually spending more of their week doing the things that they love, and eventually, hopefully, all of the week doing the things that they love, rather than getting dragged into the things that they don't love and the things that make them miserable. I also want you to look at the signs that you may not be happy. Now, you might be running through life going, I've got all this money, I've got this nice house, I've got nice cars, whatever. But then at the same time, you're not actually really looking at the situation in any real depth. So are you stressed most of the time? Now, I'm actually at the point where I'm getting a little bit bored, if I'm honest. I'm not stressed enough. There's a level of stress that I need, but then once I go past that level of stress, that's when I then really struggle and I get overwhelmed. I've also got autism and ADHD, so I have to fight with that. But there are things that I do in my business, in my life, to make sure that I keep my stress levels as low as possible in the bad stress way. Now, running a business is a different kind of stress, in my opinion, and I've always said that. But at the same time, there are things that happen in a business that cause stress that really are not good for you. Are you constantly firefighting? So it might be with staff, clients, outside sources, whatever. If you're constantly firefighting, which then causes the stress, you're more likely to get to a point where you really don't enjoy what you do, because, as I say, there's a level of stress, and everyone needs a bit of stress. But when it's constant and it's all the time and there's no letting up and there's no light at the end of the tunnel, that's when it becomes a problem, and it will put you into an early grave, believe me. Likewise, lack of holidays and strained relationships. So if you're going home every day and you're having issues at home, your wife or your husband is nagging you, your kids are like, we never see you, there's issues there that you need to start looking at. And also lack of holidays. One thing I say to my clients all the time, once they get to a point where they're not thinking properly about the business and they're getting too stuck in it with no way out, my answer to them is always go and book a holiday now. Like, go and book it, because once it's booked, you'll take it. If you don't book it, you'll constantly go, oh, I need a holiday. Oh, but I can't take a holiday, I haven't got time. Go and book the holiday, so you have to put things in place to make sure it's done. One of my clients, he has booked a month off in January next year for him and his wife's anniversary. So I need to step in and do a few bits for them, because they'll essentially have no financial management. So I'm going to go and help them, but they're already putting things in place, and they booked that a year in advance. They're already putting things in place to make sure that he can go and do that holiday for a month, and he hasn't got to be involved in the business at all. So again, there are things that you can do. Really look at it, go and book your holiday. And then the final question I have for you is, what would you need to change for you to genuinely enjoy running the business again? And again, it might be that you work work a day less a week, or you have more money to take holiday, or you actually take those holidays, or you get home at a reasonable time to spend time with your family, or you can put your kids into private school. Whatever the answer is going to be completely subjective to you. No one else can make that decision, but I want you to really look at that question and think about it, and then answer it properly. And then from there, you can start working out what your business needs to do, what you need to put in place to make sure that's achieved. And it's also really important to consider the differences between business success and personal success. Now, your business can be as profitable, as big, as, have loads of staff, whatever the answer is, but you be miserable. And that is not success. Personal success ties directly into your business success, and your business success ties directly into your personal success. So it's really important that your business works for you, not the other way around. You started a business, you are in a position where, you're not employed, you're not going into a 9 to 5 where you're beholden to someone else's decisions, rules, all those sorts of things. It's your business, so make it your business. And I do actually have one final question. If someone offered you your current role at your current salary, would you take the job? And if the answer is no, it means that something needs to change today. So get in touch.